NVIDIA's China trouble could spoil Q3 outlook. So we were just talking about some of those earnings there. NVIDIA could potentially guide below Wall Street's expectations for the third quarter, despite the anticipation of strong earnings for the July quarter, and that comes from KeyBank. Now, this is important because the common thread that we have observed in pretty much all of these earnings reports, whether they be big cap tech, small cap companies, or somewhere in the middle, what we have observed is that the guidance rules the day. KeyBank Capital Markets, in a recent note, predicted that NVIDIA's Q3 guidance could be lower than the consensus due to uncertainties in China. The brokerage noted that NVIDIA's outlook might, quote, exclude direct revenue from China, giving pending license approvals and uncertainty on timing, end quote. If sales from China were included, it could potentially boost revenues by an additional $2 to $3 billion. Despite the U.S. easing some restrictions on AI chips, KeyBank expects NVIDIA to remain cautious. The note also pointed out potential hurdles, including the possible 15% tax on AI exports and Chinese government pressure on AI providers to adopt domestically produced AI chips. Now, we've talked about some of those domestically produced AI chips and how they're actually not that great. DeepSeek can't even release their recent model because the Huawei chips, the domestically produced chips that they use, just simply can't get the job done. So again, we'll see how this all shakes out. That being said, KeyBank pointed to solid fundamental drivers. Quote, GPU supply grew 40% in Q2 and is projected to increase another 20% in Q3 with the ramp of NVIDIA's Blackwell B200. The upcoming Blackwell Ultra B300 chip is scheduled to start shipping in the October quarter, and that could account for half of the total Blackwell deliveries. KeyBank reaffirmed its overweight rating on NVIDIA and increased the price target from $190 to $215. I'm curious to know if anyone's trading. This is going to be the biggest earnings print probably of this month, and I'm watching all these earnings print comes in, and I'm watching the majority of them. It's actually the option sellers that are winning, right? The options imply an X% move, and we get less than X% when it's all said and done in the majority of cases. Part of me thinks that's what we're going to see here on NVIDIA, but the other part of me is like, this is easily the most important earnings report, and you should probably have some type of exposure for it. That's what I'm dealing with. I'd love to hear what you folks think about this and how you're actually trading this.